having microphone trouble. There we go. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors meeting. It's Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. The flags are behind me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, before we get started tonight, I think we would like to add one agenda item, and in order to do that, we need to have a vote of the supervisors.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to add an agenda item.
Please do.
I'd like to add the Selisker Land Development Planning Mode.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thanks. So we will add the Selisker Planning Mode as item H to the agenda, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we're back at our normal meeting status after 2 years of doing it differently. We're all back up on the dais. We're going to be back to normal public comment, so the email that we used during the COVID times in order to do public comment has now been shut down, and we're all public comment will be in person. So we have two opportunities for public comment tonight. One is for agenda items only, and one at the end of the meeting. Is there anybody signed up for public comment for any of the agenda items? Okay, great. So we'll move right past that and go to our consent items, approval of the minutes. Paula?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, if there are no objections, I request that the minutes of January 26, 2022 be approved by unanimous consent.
Any objections? Nope. Okay, approved by consent. Thank you. Accounts payable. Kim?
Yes, I have the bills list for February 9th, 2022. Total all funds, $793,480.44. And then I have the bills list for February 23rd, 2022. Total all funds, $1,046,167.84.
Any additions or corrections? Okay, approved by consent. Thank you. We have no public hearings or unfinished business tonight. So our first order of new business is to consider a preliminary final plan of land development for 1044 Pulinski Road. Barry?
Sure, thanks, Adam. So may I ask the applicant to please come to the table here? So this is a land development proposal. It's on Pulinski Road. It's 100 feet south of the intersection with Louise and Humphrey Drives. The proposal is to construct a 13,676 square foot addition to an existing 29,901 square foot building, warehouse building. Public water and public sewer already serve on the site. The subject property is in the I-1 Planned Industrial Office District, which permits warehouses on a preliminary lot size of 2 acres and a minimum lot width of 200 feet. The list requests waivers to be identified with the attached correspondence. The following variances were granted by the Zoning Hearing Board when they met on June 9th. To permit the building coverage of 35.73% instead of the allowable 30%. The second item is permit an impervious surface ratio of 75.5% versus allowable of 70%. And then they permit a front yard setback of 30 feet rather than the 100 feet. So maybe if I could ask the applicant to introduce themselves and maybe just give us a brief overview of the project, that would be very helpful. And up on the screen, I guess we have a picture of the site.
Certainly. My name is Doug Maloney. I'm the employee from regularly called Mandy, filling in for my partner, who is flying back from Mexico as we speak.
We can't feel sorry for that, so I'm sorry.
Our project engineer is John Richardson from Dumac Engineering, and I also have present John Foltz, who is the owner of the Ownership LLC, 1044 Pulinski LLC, and of National Maintenance and Build Out Company, the tenant and operating entity at the site.
Okay, good.
And if you'd like, I can give you a brief overview, but Mr. Moore already has done that pretty well. We are seeking a series of variances, of waivers. We've received 3 variances already. You have a memo, I believe, from Dumac Engineering dated February 7th that summarizes 7 of the variances. I've become aware that we require an additional waiver, and that is from, you'll permit me, Stormwater Management Ordinance. It's citation number 23-501.2.L, and the waiver is from the requirement to have at least 2 feet of cover over stormwater pipes. We're proposing a minimum of 1 foot, and that is for the roof, I believe, downspouts that go into the stone dry well. I don't believe that there's any opposition. This was referenced in the Gilmore review letter, and it was also discussed at the Planning Commission meeting.
So if I could amend it, I assume you reviewed that matter and that you're comfortable with that, doing the 1 foot?
Yes, correct. This was discussed at the Planning Commission meeting, and it was requested that they had an additional waiver they were seeking, so we would have no issue with it, contingent upon them, obviously, completing satisfying the rest of the stormwater requirements.
Okay.
And other than that, the tenant, National Maintenance and Build-Out Company, is a thriving construction company, interestingly enough, that focuses on retail commercial sites. And it's very well known and is thriving. Due to its success, it has expanded and requires additional storage space. It has been leasing facilities at other locations. With this expansion, it'll be allowed to consolidate its operation at the site on Pulinski Road. And that's about all we have to say. I don't know if you have any questions regarding the engineering aspect. If so, Mr. Richardson would be happy to answer them. If you have any questions about the operation that's going to take place on site, Mr. Foltz be happy to.
I think the board's gone through the process, and of course, you've met with the zoning hearing board, requested the required waivers. You also met with the planning commission. The planning commission went through recommendations, and this board's gone through, very carefully reviewed everything. What I'd like to do, Adam, if I could make a motion to pass it with just 5 bullet points. So I'll do that. So I move for the approval of 1044 Pulinski LLC Land Development, SLD 21-5, subject to compliance with the Township Engineer Review Letter dated January 20th, 2022, the Township Planning Review Letter dated January 20th, 2022, and the Township Traffic Engineers Review Letter dated January 21, 2022. It is also recommended the requested waivers be granted. In addition, approval is subject to the following conditions, and I'll just highlight these. The first condition is the applicant shall enter into a land development agreement and escrow agreement in form acceptable to the township solicitor and engineer. This shall include a stormwater management, maintenance, and operations agreement. Item 2 is a fee in lieu of sidewalks in the amount of $27,350 is required. A park and recreation impact fee in the amount of $23,333.07 is required, and the applicant shall contribute $15,000 to future traffic signal upgrades at the Jacksonville Road and Pulinski intersection. And the last item is the applicant is responsible for obtaining any outside approvals that may be necessary, including but not limited to DEP, the Conservation District, PennDOT, and the Municipal Authority. I guess my question is that motion, I guess we'll second it. I'd like to make that motion. And
Yep. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion?
no, I just want to make sure the applicant is agreeable to all those terms, conditions, as I highlighted.
The applicant is acceptable.
Okay. And I'd just like to add the fact that I'm very pleased to see that, your business is thriving in Northampton Township, and I'm very pleased that you're making improvements to the site and a source of employment and source of business for Northampton Township. So we certainly, in my personal view, I welcome that. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Tim, any further?
I agree with Barry. I think it's wonderful that we have thriving businesses in our township.
Well, I'm happy to accept that, but it's Mr. Foltz's business, so.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Paula?
I'm in agreement. I think it's a great idea, so.
Yeah, and I was going to say the same thing. I know the business has been in Northampton for a while. I happen to know that there's many residents that are employed in that business. So it's great all around for the community. I'm certainly supportive. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I did fail to mention in the beginning of the meeting, I'll just mention it now, that Supervisor Salzer sends apologies tonight and couldn't be here, but we're going to move on without him. Next item on the agenda is to consider a resolution authorizing the application for DCED grant to construct improvements at Newtown Richboro Road and St. Leonards Road and Fur Drive. Barry?
Sure, thanks, Adam. So this is actually a great opportunity for the township, and once again, I give credit to the administration for seeking all these grant applications and getting more money back from the state to the township. So I commend the administration. The PA Race Horse Development and Gaming Act of 2004-71 provides for the distribution of gaming revenues through the Commonwealth Financial Authority, known as the CFA, to support projects that improve the quality of life of the citizens of a community. The PA Department of Community and Economic Development, DCED, just announced a grant program called the LSA statewide that provides 100% funding from the Act revenues for eligible projects that meet the general guidelines. Project costs must be in excess of $25,000, but no more than $1 million. The projects must be owned and maintained by the applicant, which would be the township. So basically, we're seeking his application for 3 projects within the township. The first project in the township is to fund the design and construction of a new traffic signal at Newtown Richboro Road and St. Leonards Road. That's the intersection, right near Tyler Park. That's extremely difficult to make a left-hand turn there. So we're looking to have a new traffic sign, traffic signal installed there. So, Bill, if you could bring that up, that'd be great. The second thing we're looking at is a pedestrian crossing, at Newtown Richboro Road and Fur Drive. Now, that intersection is right in front of Tyler Park where the carriage house is. And what we're trying to do is make it more accessible for people on bicycles or walking to get from, that side of town to the other side of town to enter Tyler Park. And yours truly has tried to cross that road a number of times, and it's a very dangerous road. So this will be enabling a crosswalk there so people can go from, the Hollinside part of town all over into Tyler State Park, which is a great opportunity for us. And the third thing is a trail extension from St. Leonards Road westbound approximately 1,000 feet to an existing trail in Tyler Park. So, Bill, if you could just bring that up, too.
It's on there. It's the orange.
The orange, okay, yeah.
No,
It's the next one, I think, Adam, yeah.
Parkland, there you go.
Yeah, so that's the one that, so this, once again, we go back to St. Leonard's Road, and we're trying to provide more access from one side of the town to the other side where Tyler State Park is. This trail here will enable us to travel down 2nd Street Pike, travel down Richboro Newtown Road safely, and then you'll be able to veer to the right and go down near the bottom of the bridge there, where the crossover to Chenery Creek is. And actually, there's an existing trail there underneath the bridge, and this will provide access to that. So once again, if you're coming down St. Leonards, you'll be able to go down that hill on a bicycle or walking, and then go to the bottom of the hill, and then cross under the bridge into Tyler State Park. So as everyone knows that we did approve the Rails at Trails program for the township about 2 years ago. Now we're also trying to provide as many links as possible. And the great thing about this grant that we're talking about here, it should fund, it typically funds 100% of the cost of the project. This project itself, we're estimating to cost $1,095,000. So we'll acquire an additional $100,000 to be matched funds from the township. But that's the program. So if I could, Adam, just make a motion for that grant. So I move to adopt Resolution R-22-7, authorizing the Township Administration to file a grant application with the PA Department of Community and Economic Development for design and installation of a traffic signal at Newtown Richboro Road and the St. Leonards Road, design and installation of a pedestrian crossing at Newtown Richboro Road and Fur Drive, and also to a trail extension from the Newtown Richboro Road and St. Leonards Road westbound for approximately 1,000 feet to connect to the existing trail in Tyler Park, and to authorize the township manager and the assistant township manager to execute all documents required by the LSA statewide grant program.
there a
I'll
second?
second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, Barry?
No, I think this is a tremendous program for the township. I'm very pleased that it's going to be funded by the state. And once again, I just want to commend the township administration for seeking these grants and helping us out with for our residents.
Absolutely. Paula, anything
Great
to add?
idea. It's about time.
Excellent.
It's needed.
Kim?
I've had some residents that have contacted me about walking in this area, so I hope they're watching tonight and see that we're trying to get this grant. So we're all going to keep our fingers crossed.
And for me, I'm certainly in favor. I like all the safety we're building in. It's great. It's great for our residents, and we're making the township more accessible all around. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the list is to consider bids for the new road trail. Kim?
Yes. Bids were opened on February 10th to construct a 1,700-foot trail extension from a township-owned property on New Road. This is right next to Maureen Welsh Elementary School, to an existing trail in Municipal Park. The proposed trail will provide safe access to the park for residents in the Hampton Hills, Eagle Valley, Northampton Hunt, Windmill Village, Willow Green, and Orchard Hill developments. The township received 11 bids for the project, ranging from a low bid of $237,494.19 to a high bid of $576,869.60. The low bid was submitted by CMR Construction, Bethlehem, PA. The township previously reviewed a $238,000 grant from the PA Department of Community and Economic Development towards the project costs. The 15% township matching requirement will be satisfied through previously incurred engineering and design costs. Our township engineer confirmed that CMR Construction is qualified to complete the work and has constructed trails on prior projects. The engineer's recommendation letter, a bid tabulation summary, an easement plan showing the location of the proposed trail have gone through our approval. And with that, I'd like to make a motion.
Please.
I move to award a contract to CMR Construction, Bethlehem, PA, in the bid amount of $237,494.19 based on unit pricing to construct a trail extension from a township-owned property on New Road to an existing trail in Municipal Park, and to authorize the township manager to execute all contract documents required for this project.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Kim?
I just want to say that Amanda did a lot of good work on this. We've been working on this for quite a while and got over some structural problems with this, but she really did a great job, and I just want to remind everybody, too, this will be a dawn to dusk trail, and it'll be great for those neighborhoods that want to walk over to the municipal park.
Yeah, I've had a lot of inquiries, bikers and walkers, that when we were going to get this done.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks. Barry, any comment?
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is that I used to live actually across the street from this, down West Norton, and a huge advantage here is that before, to access the park from like West Norton, that side, you had to cut through the school property. And a lot of times you had children out there during playtime, and it kind of forced all the residents either to park in the parking lot or to cut through the school property when school was in session. So this is nice in the sense that there's an area that people can actually park their vehicles and bypass the whole school property. So I think from that standpoint, it's a huge plus, too.
That is great.
That's great. Anything else to add? Anyone else? I think just pointing out, too, that this project has gone through a bunch of iterations, and we were able to do a really great job of keeping the integrity of the project and bringing the cost more in line with the expectations that we had. So, and I'm certainly in favor. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is a resolution declaring and rescinding a snow emergency. Paula?
I to make a motion to rescind the snow emergency.
Sure. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, and just for the record, it is, it was R22-8, declaring a limited state of emergency and 1,800 hours on January 28th and ending on January 29th. That was one of the snow and ice events.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem at all. Any other comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Next is what we added in the beginning, the Sobolewski land development. Barry?
Sure, thanks, Adam. So this is more of a housekeeping matter. This land development was approved in August of 2021 to construct a 1,252-square-foot addition to an existing building in Holland. This is a building located at 83 Buck Road, the site of the former PNC Bank. So that building has been acquired, and it's a process being added to and expanded. They need to send a planning module to the DEP for sewage planning. So not too exciting, but it's a housekeeping thing we need to approve. So if I can make a motion, Adam?
Please.
I move that DEP Resolution R-22-1B for plan revision for the new land development be approved for the Sebaskin, I won't say that right, Sebaski Land Development located at 83 Buck Road.
I second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion, Barry?
No.
Paula, any discussion?
No, thank you.
Kim?
Nope.
And none for me. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have liaison reports. We'll start with Kim.
Yes. First, we have the Senior Center. The Senior Center's new extended hours bring more opportunities to join in on the awesome selection of activities and programs that are available for anyone age 55 or better. The center is now open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 until 3:30 p.m. and Tuesdays and Thursdays 9 until 8 p.m. This means that there are even more activities on the already packed calendar. More classes have been added for late afternoons and evenings. These include The Power of Paint, a class starting tomorrow night, a second book club, Zumba Gold, On Your Feet, a dance exercise class, and a full series of free, I'll say it again, free classes made available through Delaware Valley University. It's never too late to join in the fun. For more details, refer to the center's new website, northamptonsc.com, or you can call the center at 215-357-8199, or even just show up and you can get a tour of the building. And now for Parks and Rec. Well, it's starting to feel like life is getting somewhat back to normal. We could see that right here, that we're all sitting together on the dais. Parks and Rec has a full slate of programs planned for residents of all ages coming this spring and summer. And as you know by now, I like to mention all the good stuff that's planned for you. If I mentioned everything, we would be here all night. I can't really do justice by mentioning one or two programs or camps, so let me emphasize how important it is to read the brochure or go online. Once the brochure is ready to go to print, it is posted on the Park and Rec website, northamptonrec.com, and we expect the spring brochure to be mailed in the next week or so keep an eye out. Camp registrations have already begun and enrollment has been steady. In order to offer these programs, we need to hire a few more counselors and lifeguards. Working at camp or at the swim club is not just for future teachers and education majors. Skills learned carry over into any job in any field. You will learn to lead, multitask, solve problems, be creative, adapt, think outside the box, motivate others and yourself, build a sense of community and belonging, and accomplish something together as one important team. Apply and start building or enhancing your resume with important skills every employer wants to see. Go to our website or call the Rec Center today. Interviews are being scheduled now. Northampton Township is also so fortunate to have individuals committed to providing our youth with quality sports programs. Spring sports include baseball, softball, soccer, and flag football. Teams and schedules are typically confirmed by the middle of March, so if you want your children to play a sport this spring and summer, you want to register them now. League information is listed on the rec website, or you can call the office. Lastly, I want to report that the improvements to the Miracle Leaf Playground at the Municipal Park will begin in the next week or so. The community build is scheduled for the weekend of April 30th. When the equipment is installed and the weather cooperates, the surface will be installed. And then we expect the playground to be open sometime in June. And I just can't wait. It's going to be such a special playground that will be inclusive for children of all kinds. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Kim. Paula, you're next.
Hey, hi. I just wanted to start off by mentioning our township anniversary. We are amazingly 300 years old, and we are celebrating in every aspect of the township. Our veterans, on our Veterans Advisory Commission, we are celebrating, of course, Memorial Day at the Dombrowski Park, right in the middle of town. We have a plaque and we have ceremony planned on that day. Flag Day, the 14th of June, we are going to be in front of the Township Administration Building, and we expect a crowd there. On Veterans Day, we're also in front of the administration building out here. And then at Christmas time, we do have a wreath laying at our cemetery, Union Cemetery, right off of Alms House Road. We purchase wreaths, and everyone that has served in any war has a wreath laid next to their gravesite. Gasper is going to help supply them. Okay, we are having, the veterans are also recognizing the Richboro missile base. It's called the Nike Ajax story. And we are going to display that, and we're going to have a board. The veterans are going to put up a poster board of the history of that missile site. We are going to also, the veterans are also going to present a video of the defense base of the Army and the missile site. Okay, let's see, what else? The library is participating in unison with the 300th anniversary celebration also. They're having a variety of speakers. Ulysses S. Grant is coming, and he's speaking, and they have different things going on, winning, how the women won the vote, and they have different kids activities starting around the 300th anniversary. So if anyone has any stories about our history or the 250-year anniversary, the library welcomes them to please tell them their story. Okay, there is the 300 Northampton Township website and Facebook. It's Northampton Township's 300th anniversary. That's the Facebook name. And on Instagram, it's Northampton Township 300. Okay, and there's a lot of information on there. There are plenty of activities going on for all ages. We are excited, and it is a big deal to learn about our history and to appreciate our great township. Northampton's a good township. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Next up is Mr. Salzer. He's not here tonight, but I do have a few things to report on his behalf. As far as the Water Authority goes, The Water Authority is going to be starting a fairly large infrastructure rehabilitation project in 2022. It's called the Northampton Sanitary Sewer Rehabilitation Project. It's a multi-phase program and investing in the sanitary sewer system. Just some highlights real quick. It's a $3.8 million project. They're going to work on over 16,000 linear feet of pipeline will be rehabilitated. 175 manholes will be upgraded. Now, it's a funny sounding thing, but it's not good when you hit them. So that's a great project. And they expect that the lifespan of this project would be 75 years. I think the important thing here is that they're able to fund it with no increase in water and sanitary sewer rates. So be on the lookout for that. I'm sure there will probably be some traffic control needed as some of that happens. Additionally, Mr. Salzer asked, do we just let everybody know that in the near future, there's going to be a dedication of a Northampton Township archives room. They're working on that now, so that'll be pretty nice, and that'll go along with our 300th anniversary. So just stay tuned for an announcement in the future. And lastly, there has been, the board has received many comments from our residents and drivers about Elm Avenue. Elm Avenue is in pretty poor shape. The winters have taken a toll on that, and I'm happy to report that Elm Avenue will be paved this year. It is in the schedule. So keep an eye out for that. There will be some traffic control in place actually this week. As some of the preliminary work starts on Elm Avenue. It's not the paving this week, but they're starting to get ready, doing some of the planning that needs to happen. But I'm sure that's going to be welcome news to the travelers between Bustleton, Pike, and Holland Road. Thank you for that, and I'll move to Barry.
Thanks, Adam. So from a land development standpoint, there's been a lot of activity in the town. We've talked about Spring Mill Country Club. Those townhouses there have been extremely active, and it seems like, every time we turn around, there's another building being built there. So that's moving along very well. In addition, Holland, the Waverly subdivision on East Holland Road is moving along very well. Apparently, I believe all the houses are sold in both cul-de-sacs. I think there's only 3 lots available yet on that site. The giant site in former Murray's Market in Richboro, we were hoping that was going to be open in January 22. I think they're hoping for April 22 now, I'm hearing. June of 22, okay, June 22. So it's so that's coming along very well. And then Pulinski is a subdivision on East Holland Road also. That has 4 lots, and that's being developed. And then on near where I live in Holland, on Stony Ford Ridge subdivision, that development's completely sold out now. And that, I think, had, I believe, 12 homes on that site. Yeah, something like that. And they're completely sold out. So it's just amazing the amount of activity we're seeing in town. I did see a notice that they're going to be closing Stony Ford Road for a period of time because they need to do some stormwater management work, I believe, in that. So be more news on that. Some of the projects that are pending, are coming up for land development, is at 960 2nd Street Pike, which is it's looking for a multi-use building, which includes a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through. That's a site in town between McDonald's and Trumark. They're looking for those 3 houses to come down and propose a single building there. There's also the Bucks County Roses property in Buck Road. There's been a number of proposals there to do multifamily housing there, or high-density housing. Now we have a plan before the township would by right, which would be putting houses on 13 houses on single-family lots of 1 acre or more. And there's also a 3-lot subdivision in Bristol Road and Churchill Lanes that's happening. So a lot happening within the township from a zoning standpoint. So, but that's all I have for now, Adam. Thanks.
Thanks, Barry. I just have a couple things to report. First, the construction of the new fire stations, both fire stations, one in Richboro and one in Holland, as you many are aware, are quite old and need replacing. That starts this month. Early in March, you can expect to see the Holland Firehouse, which has been at East Holland and Old Jordan Road since about 1966. that will come down to make way for a new station. And then later in the month, towards the last week of the month, the Richboro station here on Newtown Richboro Road behind the Township Complex will be torn down, and the construction will start there. The fire department will be using the old police station as a temporary station up here in Richboro, and we have coverage all through the township during the construction process. So look forward to that, and that's probably going to be an 18 to 20-month project. Very exciting. The only other thing I had is I just wanted to call out before we get into the different reports that this is National Engineers Week. And it's always nice to call out the folks that help us every day. Amanda is sitting up here, and Jake is sitting out in the audience, and they are our engineers, the township engineers. They do an awful lot of work for us. They give us a lot of guidance. They help us through a lot of issues. And I'm glad to see that the engineers have a week to be recognized. So thank you for...
Is it a week or a day, Adam?
Well,
We get a whole week.
First of all, you can't ask an engineer that. It'll be a long answer. But whatever it is, thank you. We do appreciate all you do for us and help us through all the many projects in the township. So on
Thank
behalf
you.
of all of us, thank you.
It is an honor, truly, to work in the township, especially for a board who's so accommodating and so supportive. So thank you.
Thanks. We thought about having your pictures put up, but we
Yeah, no, please spare
it was
everybody.
close. It was close. Moving on to the manager's report.
I have nothing to add this evening, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bob. New addition up on the dais, Bill Wirt, our assistant manager, taking the seat at the end, and you'll see him now every month with us and a report if he has anything. Bill?
Thank you, Adam. Two things I'd like to announce for the residents. The first edition of our 2022 newsletter will hit the streets early mid-March, so look for your mailboxes for that. And the other item, I'd like to encourage residents to sign up to receive our any news alerts and announcements that the township send out about our board meetings or anything going on, road closures, emergencies, those sort of things. If you sign up, right on our front page, there's a big banner. It says, sign up to receive. Just put your email in, and then you'll get anything we send out, and that gets posted on our website. So, good information.
It is a great source of information. Thank you, Bill. Solicitor's report. Joe?
Thank you. Just one item this evening. The record should reflect that the board met in an executive session on February 9 of 2022. It was a virtual session. Present for the executive session were the members of the Board of Supervisors, the township manager, the township engineer, and me. One matter of pending litigation and one matter of potential litigation were discussed. No official action was taken during the executive session, and no official action was required this evening as a result of the executive session. Other than that, it's good to be back up on the dais.
Yep. Great to have you up here. Thanks, Joe. And Amanda, engineers report, other than it's National Engineers Week.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't. I don't need to report that, but it is back. Nice to be back up on the dais as well. And just two quick things to piggyback on what Barry had said regarding the closure on Stonyford Road. I believe it's beginning tomorrow, and they will be doing water, sewer, and stormwater improvements along the road. So hopefully that's a good thing for the township, and we'll get those upgraded. And then regarding the trail project, myself, along with the township administration, will be coordinating with the staff at Marine Welsh, obviously, because a portion of that project does go through school property, so we'll be coordinating with them.
Great. Thanks, Amanda. Do we have anybody signed up for public comment? None? Okay. With no public comment, our business is ended. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Good night.